Panic of 1893 was the most significant economic downfall of its time. It started with the ruination of the New York stock market. This induced the bankruptcy of several railroads, the unemployment of one-fifth of the country, and a decline in the amount of gold in the reserves. Instead of investing in railroad stocks, the interests of investors diverted to gold, annihilating the reserves in the U.S. Treasury. All major sources of income began shutting down, including railroads, mining operations, and banking firms. The farmers had already been in debt, making the panic only adding to their economic woes. Uproars such as the Pullman strike and ultimately Coxey's Army were prevalent throughout the United States. It all started by the debt of farmers, induced by the inflation of shipping rates. To raise awareness of this dispute, farmers worked to obtain seats in legislature. With this newfound authority, farmers were able to nationalize this predicament. In the election of 1892, James B. Weaver represented the People's Party, also referred to as the Populist Party. This platform advocated for citizens electing the Senate, a People's Court, the ability for citizens to vote on bills, and a plan where citizens who earn a higher income pay a higher tax. This party, however, did not gain precedence until the panic. I need to go to the Reading Railroad to ship my crops.
That'll be 20 gold, please.
Well, I only have silver.
Well, we only accept gold, so you can't ship your crops here.
Guess I'm broke like all the other farmers now.
Grover Cleveland takes office for the second time in March of 1893. His inaugural address echoes themes that marked his first 4 years in office.
But then, just a couple of months after he took office, the economy basically came to a screeching halt. A depression started that lasted into the mid to late 1890s. Millions of people were out of work. Thousands upon thousands of businesses failed.
No group watches this scene unfolding with greater dismay than American farmers.
Many of them in the 80s, in a kind of boom time for agriculture, had purchased more land, had expanded westward, started new farms. In fact, to some degree, moving beyond the rainfall line and getting into situations where they couldn't even grow crops, let alone market them.
Industrialization and mechanization were transforming agriculture and making it so that what we now think of as agribusiness was possible and pursuable on a large scale. That meant a lot of small-time family farmers went out of business, and people went off the farms and looked for new jobs in cities where they would get jobs as unskilled laborers in factories or on docks and that sort of thing. If you did that, you'd be making about 25-30 cents a day, and this led to tremendous labor unrest.
The plight of farmers fuels an agrarian revolt and the emergence of a new voice on the political scene, the Populist Party.
Farmers throughout the country struggled due to the fact they only possessed silver. Although most major businesses only wanted to be compensated in gold, which was the standard currency at the time. This challenged farmers because now they couldn't afford to transport and sell their crops. In addition to these struggles, the New York stock market plummets, leading both the farmers and railroads to bankruptcy. I need to go to the Reading Railroad to ship my crops because I need to support my family.
Sorry, we're bankrupt, and we're shutting down just like all the other banks and mining facilities.
Now everybody trying to make an honest living is bankrupt.
The whole country is in chaos. Hopefully the government fixes this soon.
Now, several industries were tight on money and rushed to purchase gold. This diminished the gold reserve to below 100 million. People could not invest in banks now, and companies, short on money, were forced to lay off employees, leaving 2.5 million jobless men. After 2 years of this economic depression, Grover Cleveland, the current president, contacted John Pierpont Morgan to guide him to rescue the economy. When just Morgan's financial advice wasn't enough, Cleveland and his advisors realized they needed his money. They settled on trading bonds for $129 million in gold reserves with Morgan. Although they questioned the legality of this exchange, Morgan discovered it was legal by a law in 1862. With that said, Cleveland and Morgan followed through with the exchange, allowing the economy to flourish again. After the economy was stabilized, the Populist Party gained precedence again. This eventually led to the resolution of the gold versus silver dispute.